Hello everyone, it is February 5th, 2021, and I am currently at the hospital to get my second COVID vaccine. I'm very excited. This is the Moderna vaccine. My appointment is at 12. I'm here just a little early. Last time, they didn't really ask me for what time my appointment was, so I figured I can just go in and they'll just take you as long as they have you on the list that you're here for an appointment. I didn't have too many side effects with the first COVID vaccine, just a sore arm, and I did have a bruise that lasted like almost a week, which no one else I talked to had that, but whatever. I mean, it wasn't a big deal at all. It was just really sore for like 2 or 3 days. For the most part, more sore than the flu vaccine or the tetanus, because those make you pretty sore. I think it's going to help me feel more confident that I won't get severely ill if I did get COVID, which up to this point, I have not gotten COVID to my knowledge. I've gotten tested 5 times, and all 5 times I came out negative. We'll see what happens.
This photo was taken at 11:48 a.m. after I received my second COVID vaccine. This is me in the waiting room being really happy.
Hello, it is 12:09 p.m. and I received my second dose. You can see right there. And everything went very smoothly. I just had to show my vaccination card at multiple points throughout the whole process. They didn't ask to see my photo ID, I guess because they just, had the vaccination card to look off of. But they did ask me to bring it. So I did have that plus my RN license. I signed the consent form, and then I went to the table to have the nurse look at my consent form, and then the other nurse administered it. And then I went to the waiting area. So I waited for 15 minutes and no reaction at all, which I believe is not common, but it could happen. So I set a timer for 15 minutes and just hung out. So that was that. I feel so relieved. And in 2 weeks from now, I should have full protection for the vaccine. So the Moderna one is 94% effective. So that is really good. And it's also effective against the UK variant. So that makes me feel really relieved. So I think it's February 19th is when I'll have the full protection from this vaccine. Hello, it is 7:37 p.m., same day, and I came on here to report that I'm doing pretty well so far post-vaccination. The only thing is that I have some soreness in my arm, which I had with the first one, and I'm starting to feel a little bit warm. I thought that around 2 o'clock I started to feel warm, but it might have just been me imagining things, or I don't know. But right now we just ate and I feel like I'm warm, but I haven't checked my temperature. So that's it so far. I'm happy if this is the extent of it, but we shall see.
Hey everyone, just jumping on here to say that I didn't take any video the night of February 5th, but I did write a little note about how I was feeling. So here is the note that I wrote. Hello everyone, it is a little bit after 11 p.m. on the day I got my vaccine. I got it almost 12 hours ago. Currently my left deltoid is hurting a lot, about the same it was when I got my first dose. The pain is pretty moderate to severe, just like it was for the first dose. I'm also feeling achy, and I feel pretty warm and also feel cold at the same time. I'm going to try to hold off on taking the Tylenol as long as I can. We shall see how I feel in the morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is the morning of February 6th, and I'm just coming to report on how I feel after my second dose of the vaccine. So I had a pretty rough night last night. I just felt uncomfortable and my left arm was really sore and I felt pretty warm, but I didn't get up to check my temperature, but I just know I didn't sleep very well at all because I just couldn't get comfortable. This morning, a little after 7 o'clock, I checked my temperature with an oral thermometer and it was 101.8. So I'm still iffy about taking Tylenol, but it's after the vaccine, so I'm probably okay, but I don't want to affect my immune response. But I don't know if there's anything wrong with taking Tylenol, which is an analgesic, after the vaccine. So we shall see how it goes. Good evening. It is the evening of February 6th. It's been over 24 hours since I had my second COVID vaccine. I did pretty good today. Like I said, this morning, I wasn't feeling too great. Once I took the Tylenol though, I was good to go. I passed the temp check at work and I had a pretty good day at work. I could feel the Tylenol wearing off like about an hour before the 6-hour mark, but I ended up pushing through and I didn't take another dose for the rest of the workday. And I would say that I felt pretty good. I did feel like a little warm, but I definitely was okay to continue on with the workday and I didn't feel the need to go home early. And then this evening I was just feeling sore in my left arm and maybe a little warm. When I came home, I checked my temperature, it was 100.1. So not as bad as this morning, but I still felt a little bit bad. So hopefully tonight is a better night with sleep. I will take the Tylenol if I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel bad. Hello everyone, it is the evening of February 7th. Yeah, I slept way better than the previous night and I didn't even take any more Tylenol after yesterday. So I really only took Tylenol once. And when I woke up and went about my day, I realized I had no more fever, or at least didn't feel feverish, and I had no body aches. So that was really great. The only thing is my arm's still a little bit sore, so it feels very similar to the first dose symptoms. Despite all the side effects that I had, which really weren't that many at all, I'm 100% glad that I got the COVID vaccine. Good evening, everyone. Quick update for you all on the evening of February 8th. It is 3 days post-vaccine number 2. The arm is still doing really well. I actually have no bruising at all this time. That's pretty cool. The arm is doing well. I still do have some pain. When I lift it about this high, I can start feeling the pain, but I have a pretty good range of motion. I even did a dance workout today, and I didn't have to really modify my workout at all to accommodate for the slight discomfort. It's pretty good. But yeah, it still feels like someone punched my arm. No worries though. Hello everyone. It's Saturday, February 13th. It has been now 8 days since I got the second dose of the COVID vaccine. I would say that I am 99% better. I can barely notice that my arm is sore. It's just like certain movements, like if I'm leaning on my arms over a table, I can sort of feel some kind of mild discomfort in my left deltoid, but I can press it and it doesn't hurt, but I feel the slightest amount of discomfort. Overall, I'm super satisfied with how my vaccination experience went. I'm so happy I got it. I would do this all over again. Having this vaccine gives me a lot of relief because it means that my chances of getting hospitalized if I got COVID are much less. And even if I did get COVID, the chances of getting severely ill are much less than if I didn't get the vaccine. Before I got the vaccine, when it wasn't available yet, I hit a point in the pandemic where I was really like sad. I do have a history of depression, so this is not like out of the ordinary. And disclosure, I do take antidepressants, so that's been helping me a lot. But I just hit a point in the pandemic where I was just feeling really down. And then once I made an appointment and got everything started, I definitely felt things feel better, like even mentally, just knowing that there was a little bit of hope out there. I still am going to be super careful. I've been double masking these days because recently the CDC recommended double masking, which I have been doing since last year. I even did it at Volcano Bay before it closed for the year. I was double masking out there, and then I was double masking throughout the winter holidays. So I'm gonna keep doing that. And I've been trying to be more aware of keeping my distance from people and just being safe when I do go out. I think that's all you really need to do, is just keep masking, double masking if you can, keeping your distance from people. And when you are indoors, make sure, like if possible, you don't try to stay indoors too long. So thank you so much for watching, and journey on.